from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's a national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Natalia Viravadana. First, let's take a look at the headlines for tonight.
Two fishermen killed in a boat accident at sea. 2 others rescued and search operations underway on 3 missing. A project to modernize 100 railway stations begins. Wearing of seat belts become compulsory for bus drivers from the 1st of next month. Reconstruction of the Kalmadu reservoir in Kilinochchi completed. Kush and hashish narcotics valued at 50 million rupees found in a speaker brought from Canada. President Donald Trump warns Iran once again. Sri Lanka secures an innings and 78 runs victory against the Bangladeshi team in the 2nd test.
And in your local news this evening, 2 local fishermen who went fishing from the Devinura and Beruwala yesterday and today reported to have been killed as a result of one of the boats in which they were travelling in colliding with a commercial ship.
2 fishermen had managed to save their lives and operations are underway in search of 3 other missing fishermen. On the instructions of the Defence Secretary, the search operations are being carried out by the crafts of the Sri Lanka Air Force and Sri Lanka Navy. Dinesh 4 multi-trawler which left the Devinura Fisheries Harbour last evening met with the accident at the sea near the Galle Harbour. There were 5 fishermen in the boat. One of the fishermen survived was rescued by the Nipuni 1 fishing craft which left the Galle Harbour this morning. The fishermen rescued in the operations were admitted to the Karapiti Hospital for treatment. A naval craft and several other fishing boats are still engaged in searching the missing fishermen. Search operations are also being carried out by the Y-12 aircraft of the Sri Lanka Air Force. In addition, a Bell 412 helicopter has been stationed at the Koggala Air Force camp to be used in any emergency. Meanwhile, the Navy personnel were able to rescue another fisherman without harm who was trapped in one of the boats. The victim, who rescued with great effort, was brought to the Galle Harbour around 4:10 p.m. today. Bodies of the 2 fishermen killed in the incident were brought to the Galle Harbour today. The other ill-fated boat, which went to the sea from Moragalla in Beruwala this morning, was toppled and 2 of the fishermen in the boat were missing. The boat which met with the accident was brought to the shores. The 2 missing fishermen were brothers of the same family in Aludgama. Director General of the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Susantha Kahawatha, has expressed opinion to the media on the accidents of fishing boats in Devinura and Beruwala. Director General of the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Susantha Kahawatha, said that they believe that the accident occurred due to the boat clashing with a commercial vessel. There is a possibility of technically establishing 2 crafts hitting the specific locations in the commercial ship. After exactly determining the manner in which the accident occurred, they hope to enlighten the Office of the Director of Commercial Ships and to take necessary legal measures. He further said that they have provided recommendations to ensure of the non-occurrence of similar accidents in future. The accident was reported to have taken place at a location closer to the shores. Therefore, it is imperative to find out how the accident had taken place and to take precautions to prevent further accidents of this nature.
Moving on with more local news, President Andrukumara Dissanayake says that the government is placing particular emphasis on strengthening the public transport system as part of its broader agenda to elevate the country to a new level. The President made these remarks while attending the ceremonial launch of the Dream Destination project at the Presidential Secretariat to modernize 100 railway stations yesterday. The aim of this project is to create an enchanting railway station system which provides the comfort, the security and of all passengers, including those of special needs. Accordingly, the President highlighted the need for a robust road regulatory framework and underscored that strengthening public transport is essential to reduce traffic congestion. minimize environmental damage by cutting down harmful emission, and ease the heavy financial burden the government bears due to the vehicle imports is also part of this agenda. President Anrukumara Dissanayake said that the primary objective of the current government is not to pursue incremental reforms within the existing framework, but rather to transform and elevate the nation to a significantly higher level of development. The President emphasized that the current political leadership has already taken steps to break away from the past political culture and that this transformation must now be developed into a stable and lasting system. Furthermore, the President stressed the need for all sectors of the country to work collectively and in alignment to elevate the nation to a new level. President Dissanayake also stated that the government is placing particular emphasis on strengthening the public transport system as part of its broader agenda to elevate the country to a new level. He further affirmed the government will not allow authorities or individuals to act arbitrarily. It has also come to an end under the current administration. The President further emphasized that society as a whole must develop a sense of fear and accountability when it comes to the misuse of public property, and that every individual must be equally subject to the rule of law. The President stated that efforts to develop the country's public transport system into a modern, accessible and efficient service has already begun. In addition to the government's investments, opportunities have also been opened for private sector participation. He also invited the private sector to collaborate with the government in rebranding Sri Lanka's railway stations with a fresh and distinctive identity that aligns with contemporary global standards. The Road Safety Action Plan was formally presented to President Anrukumara Dissanayake by the Minister of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation, Bimal Ratnayake. The minister further said that the dual track from Kottava to Avisavella is expected to be extended to Ratnapura under the new railway construction program. Provision of necessary facilities for railway cargo transportation is a main objective. In addition, it is envisaged to develop the Nuwara-Eliya-Nanuwaya railway track through joint collaboration of the private sector. It is also hoped to introduce several new trains through allocations of the upcoming budget. Minister Bimal Ratnayake said that traffic congestion alone resulted in an estimated annual loss of 2 to 3% of the country's GDP. Since around 2012, there has been a significant decline in the public's reliance on public transport. As a result, even if massive road infrastructure is built in the future, it would not fully resolve the country's transport challenges. Murad Ismail, founder and chief architect of MICD Associates, presented the master plan for the railway station modernization initiative at the event. Representing the National Intelligence Organization, chartered engineer MMS Mormada shared insights based on pilot projects carried out at the Maradana, Nirigama and Moratua railway stations. He also stated that the organization is prepared to voluntarily offer technical guidance as needed to support future developments. In parallel, Chief Engineer of the Sri Lanka Railways Department, VCE Jayasekara, highlighted that there are currently 429 unprotected railway crossings in the country. He noted that enhancing safety of 134 of the most critical locations in the initial phase could significantly reduce the risk of accidents. During the event, an interactive discussion was held with the participants regarding the Dream Destination initiatives. They were also introduced to the online platform established for engagement and participation in the project.
The National Transport Commission announced that starting from the 1st of July 2025, it will be compulsory for all bus drivers to wear seat belts. Chairman of the NTC, Engineer P.A. Chandrapala, says that it has been legally required since the year 2011 for the drivers to wear seat belts, and it has now become necessary to reinforce the law. NTC Chairman Engineer P.A. Chandrapala said that they are hoping to focus special attention to this issue from the 1st of next month. The intention is not to impose punishments or to obstruct the quality of the service. Chairman further said the objective is to actively involve in this regard in order to inculcate the need to have safety driving in the minds of the drivers. Chairman P.H. Chandrapal emphasized that many road accidents are linked to bus drivers ignoring basic safety practices, including not wearing seat belts. The new enforcement push is aimed at addressing this ongoing issue and improving passenger and road safety.
In news from overseas, US President Donald Trump has stated that a renewed strike on Iran is being seriously considered. Meanwhile, the Iranian government held a state funeral today for top military officials who were killed in recent conflict with Israel. President Trump said that if intelligence agencies determine that Iran has resumed uranium enrichment as before, he would not hesitate to order another strike on the country. Over the past weekend, the US directly intervened in the conflict between Israel and Iran. Before a temporary ceasefire was implemented between the two sides, the US military conducted aerial bombings targeting 3 major Iranian nuclear facilities. Responding to the US strikes, Iranian's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has said that the attacks yielded no significant gains for the United States. However, President Trump reiterated that the US strikes were successful in destroying Iran's nuclear centers. He also dismissed as ignorant a statement made by Iran's supreme leader claiming victory in the war with Israel, despite Iran having sustained considerable destruction. Trump further noted that although there had previously been steps toward lifting sanctions on Iran, these efforts have now been completely halted due to the recent remarks by Iran's spiritual leader. Additionally, in a post on social media platform Truth, President Trump declared that he knows the exact location of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's current residence. He claimed that he personally intervened to prevent Israeli and US forces from targeting Khamenei. Meanwhile, Iran today organized a state funeral for 60 individuals. This included General Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, senior military commanders and nuclear scientists who were killed during the 12-day war with Israel. According to Iranian media reports, the ceremony took place at Tehran's central Engelab Square with full state honors. A large number of high-ranking military officials, government representatives and nuclear scientists attended the event. Due to the recent instability in the Middle East, the Population and Immigration Authority of Israel has decided to extend the validity of re-entry visas until July 31st for Sri Lankans who had returned to Israel and Sri Lanka with the intention of going back to Israel for employment. This was announced in a statement issued by Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism. The ministry stated that as international flights to Israel have now resumed, Sri Lankans currently in the country on re-entry visas will be permitted to return to their jobs in Israel until the 31st of July, even if their visas have technically expired. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism said that they have already enlightened the relevant institutions in this regard.
A special awareness workshop on the use of artificial intelligence was held today at the Ministry of Education, targeting senior officials of the ministry. The session focused on how AI can be effectively utilized to transform the public service into a more efficient and productive system. As an initial step in the government's flagship program to digitize the public service, the objective of this initiative was to raise awareness among officials, prepare them for the transition and foster a positive attitude towards the use of artificial intelligence within the public sector. Participating in the event, Secretary to the President Dr. Nandika Senathkumara has emphasized that the use of artificial intelligence can significantly enhance the quality of the education sector in a timely and meaningful manner. Delivering a presentation at the event, Senior Advisor to the President on Digital Economy, Dr. Hans Vijayasuriya, highlighted the vital role of the Ministry of Education in advancing the government's digital economy agenda. He also outlined how artificial intelligence can be effectively adopted within the ministry and discussed the technological changes being planned to facilitate its implementation.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says oral health could be defined as a preliminary feature of the Universal Health Service. He was addressing the 92nd annual scientific session of the Sri Lanka Dental Medical Association in Colombo. The Sri Lanka Dental Medical Association has organized the event under the theme Innovation and Embracing of Digital Transformation. The association, with a membership of 1,900 professionals, is also regarded as the national professional body on Sri Lankan dental health sector and also its mother organization. The basic tasks entrusted upon the Institute: prevention of oral diseases, streamlining of local dental medical treatment services, safeguarding of the higher standards in education and research in the dental health sector, as well as professional development of the membership of the organization.
I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the SLDA for nearly a century of unwavering commitment to advancing oral health and professional excellence in our nation. This year's theme resonates deeply as Sri Lanka navigates complex public health challenges, from economic hardship to the growing burden of non-communicable disease. Too often, oral health is relegated to the background in this national dialogue. Yet, as we all know, the mouth is a mirror to the body. According to WHO, oral diseases are now the most common non-communicable diseases globally. Despite decades of public health efforts, the incidence of oral cancer, especially among rural and estate populations, remains unacceptably high. Risk factors like tobacco use, arrogant chewing, and poor hygiene persist, compounded by barriers to early detection and care. We must redefine oral health as a core component of universal health care. Dental caries, periodontal disease, tooth loss, and oral cancer are not inevitable, they are largely preventable.
Reconstruction of the dam of the Kalmadu reservoir in Kilinochchi has been completed under the Joint Waterways and Water Resource Management Project. The work has got underway through credit assistance of the World Bank. It was in the year 1950 that the Kalmadu lake was constructed. The LTTE had destroyed the tank barn with bombing in 2009. As a result, farmers in the area were compelled to encounter many problems, including receiving water for their cultivation activities. In the year 2021, reconstruction of the dam had commenced under a World Bank loan program. The work was completed in January 2024 at a cost of 800 million rupees. The lake barn spans a distance of 1 kilometer. Around 3,700 farmers are being benefited by the reconstruction program. 12,000 acres of their land are being irrigated by the waters of the reservoir. 45 fishermen also sustain their livelihood by engaging in fishing the lake. We are going in for a short break and we'll bring you more news right after this.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back, and we are with more local stories. A set of proposals has been devised for the creation of a Sigiriya Heritage Management Guidelines.
It was presented to the Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Hiniduma Sunil Senevi, at the Central Cultural Fund, Sigiriya office yesterday. The roadmap has been prepared by officials of several government institutions, including the Department of Archaeology and the Central Cultural Fund. The officials say that they have made guidelines after taking into consideration of the serious damage caused by geological structures of the Sigiriya archaeological site as a result of unauthorized constructions. They further say that as a result of the harmful constructions, there is a threat of Sigiriya being eliminated from the World Heritage List. Minister Hiniduma Sunil Senevi said that on this occasion that unauthorized constructions in the Sigiriya site will be withdrawn and the government takes over the responsibility of safeguarding the Sigiriya for the future generation.
Minister Ananda Vijaypala has presided over a discussion pertaining to the elephant-human conflict in the Kurunegala district yesterday. The attention has been focused at the meeting held at the Kurunegala district office auditorium on the problems faced by farmers due to elephants storming villages. The discussion also dealt on the actions of the wildlife officials as well. The meeting was attended by a group including Deputy Minister Namal Karunaratna. Deputy Minister Susil Ranasinghe was engaged in an observation tour at the mechanical workshop in Tambuttegama belonging to the Mahaweli Authority. The objective of the minister's visit to inspect on the vehicles and machinery undergoing decay and destruction. It has been observed that certain vehicles with a value of over 60 million rupees were left to be dilapidated. Deputy Minister Janith Ruwankodituaku was also engaged in an observation tour in the Colombo Harbour building to inspect progress in building construction. It has been pointed out that construction has been delayed for a period of more than 2 years. The Deputy Minister, in a discussion with the representatives of the contract company, ordered to speedily compel all stalled reconstructions.
The 54th annual conference of the Skål International Asia area, the largest global organization linked to the tourism sector, was held today at the Taj Samudra Hotel in Colombo. The event was attended by the Minister of Tourism, Vijitha Herath, as the chief guest. Skål International, a prominent global tourism organization with a history spanning approximately 81 years, has a membership of around 12,000 countries. This year, the organization's Asia annual conference is being held in Sri Lanka over a 3-day period. About 210 delegates are participating, including members from Asian countries and the Australasian region. The Skål Sri Lanka chapter itself is about 71 years old. During the event, Minister Vijitha Herath stated that Sri Lanka is one of the best destinations in the world for tourism and called upon all members to work collectively to attract more tourists to experience Sri Lanka's beauty. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, Buddhika Hevawasam, also addressed the gathering on this occasion. A commemorative cover and a special stamp designed by Hyderabad-based Skål member Valmiki Harikrishan to mark the 54th conference was presented to the minister as well.
With the new leadership, with the new government, the NPP government. First of all, we had to pay our more attention to debt restructuring program. We have completed that program end of last December. We have restructured our ISB loans, and we are continuing and we are having bilateral agreements with other countries these days. A restructuring program is going on. We think and we hope within a short period we can conclude those bilateral agreements also. After that, the bilateral loan restructuring program also will be completed within short period. First of all, we started to change the political culture in our country. We did many things on behalf of that. We have taken many steps to change our political culture. Now there are no bribes, corrupts and malpractices. There are only few incidents are happening, but as a whole we can say the whole system has been changing. Our economy is going on very well. It is going up smoothly, not at once, and our stability of the political situation is also very good. There is a good political stability, and the economy is also growing up. Therefore, whole people of whole world can come to Sri Lanka, and they can see, they can enjoy with our beauty and with our people's hospitality. As far as concerned the hospitality, the Sri Lankan people are the best in the world. I can assure you.
Over the world. So we see new markets are being emerging, new destinations, new source markets for us being emerging in all over the world. So I see most of the people who are being sitting here are part and parcel of that. So we consider you as valuable partners of ours. Skål Club is very important for us, because the particular partnerships that we have with all these parties here, maybe it's hoteliers, maybe it's the airline members, maybe it's the tour operators, or any other provider in our industry, as well as the particular experts in the industry. We do have, we do need your support in various ways. One way we need the support to be growing the tourism industry in the country, which I think the government as well as our Honourable Minister and all the patentees of this country is being expecting. So our economic prosperity, economic progress is towards tourism. So we are actually expecting tourism to be growing to the remotest parts of Sri Lanka and creating a tourism economy in the country.
The Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia, in collaboration with the Sri Lanka-Indonesia Friendship Association, has conducted the Indonesian Festival and Bazaar 2025 today at the Indonesian Embassy premises in Colombo. The Indonesian Festival and Bazaar is a vibrant cultural celebration which has been conducted for the 4th occasion, aimed at fostering closer ties between Indonesia and Sri Lanka. This year's event promises to be a dynamic cultural showcase with performances by Indonesian and Sri Lankan artists. The event was held under the patronage of Minister of Foreign Affairs Wijita Herat and Ambassador of Indonesia Dewi Gustina Tobing. As part of the Indonesian Festival and Bazaar 2025, also a special photo and video exhibition was opened highlighting key moments from the historic Asian-African Conference held in 1995, offering visitors a glimpse into the spirit of unity and cooperation that shaped the region's diplomatic history. The special feature of the event was a musical performance conducted by a group of visually impaired youth striving for independence through music.
I am also glad to have this opportunity to enjoy authentic Indonesian culture, arts and craft, music, and of course popular cuisine from various parts of your country. Indonesian cuisine, particularly from the Java region, has been very popular among Sri Lankans due to our long-standing links through ancient maritime and roots and shared colonial heritage. I believe this annual event provides a wonderful opportunity to enjoy the Indonesian culture and cuisine and forge stronger people-to-people ties between our two countries. I am also here to inaugurate a photo exhibition highlighting key moments from the historic Afro-Asian Conference held in Bandung in 1955, which 70 years ago gave birth to non-aligned movement of which both Sri Lanka and Indonesia are founding members.
Today we hold two events, the Festival and Bazaar of Indonesia. We have it here in the premises of the Embassy of Indonesia. And at the same time, we also commemorate the 70th anniversaries of Asia-Africa Conference. For the Bazaar, this is actually, we do it annually for the last 3 to 4 years. And every time we do it here in the Embassy, but we invite Sri Lankan community to come and to visit my premises, and also we invite Indonesia and Sri Lanka small medium business to join in the stall or exhibitor. Besides, they promote products as well as food and culture. Today we are honored to have Honorable Minister Wijita Herat as the chief guest of the Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka as the chief guest of the event of today. And as I mentioned, we also have a photo exhibition in commemorating the 70 years of the ASEAN African Conference. We do this today and also next Monday and Tuesday, 30th of June and 1st of July, from morning at 10 until 3 in the afternoon. So this is very significant symbol of how strong the history of Asia and Africa to build voices together about their right and also their intention to have peace. So the history is proven by having the Asia-Africa Conference lead to many countries' independence. At that time, more than 50 countries' independence after the conference, and mostly from Africa. And through this history, I would like also Sri Lankan people to be proud as part of the very important of the Asia-Africa Conference. That's why we open this opportunity to the young people, especially of Sri Lanka, from students, to come and learn from this exhibition.
Now we're going to bring you more local stories in brief. Assets of a male and female suspects in Kalmadu have been freezed under the law of acquiring properties earned through illegal means. The two suspects were arrested under narcotic-related charges on the 26th of this month. Among the illegal properties acquired included a 4-storied house in Kandana, a 2-storied and a 3-storied house in Borella, and 2 motor vehicles. The suspects were remanded till the 11th of next month. Narcotics to the value of 50 million rupees were found in a speaker imported to Sri Lanka from Canada. Custom officials say the speaker with narcotics of kush and hashish were kept for a long period without the ownership of any person, and the contraband were detected during an inspection. A vote was conducted to elect the mayor and deputy mayor of the Waligama Urban Council yesterday. In the pen ballot, National People's Power candidate was elected as the mayor. And we're moving into a foreign break, and we bring you news from overseas right after this.
Terima kunjungi Pantamai.
Foreign news from the United States. U.S. Supreme Court has handed a significant victory to Donald Trump and future American presidents when curbing lower court's power to block executive orders. Now, President Trump was beaming as he addressed reporters at the White House briefing room podium, calling it a big, amazing decision, which administration is very happy about.
A multi-trawler which left the Devinur Fisheries Harbour last evening met with the accident at the sea near the Galle Harbour.
President Trump said it was a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers and the rule of law. The court's decision not only impacts Trump's birthright citizenship order, but also emboldens him to enact many of his other policy actions that have been temporarily thwarted.
Welcome back, and we are bringing you the sports news. Sri Lanka has won the second test of the current series against Bangladesh in an innings and 78 runs at the SSC grounds in Kalmadu today. A striking feature of today's play was that the match time was restricted only to 30 minutes. The Bangladesh team was staggering at 115 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their second innings when the play was resumed on the fourth day today. They were facing an inning defeat by 96 runs, yet the remaining Bangladesh batsmen were bowled out for only 18 runs. The Bangladesh team's second innings score was reduced to 133 runs when first wicket in the day fell when Liton Das dismissed for 14 runs. Naeem Hasan also got out of 5 runs. The highest scorer of the second innings was Mushfiqur Rahim, who hit 26 runs. None of the other batsmen were able to surpass the 20-run limit. Prabhat Jayasuriya, in an excellent bowling action, took 5 wickets. Dhananjay Silva and Tarindu Ratnayaka also shared 2 wickets each. The Sri Lanka team has scored 458 runs in their first innings in response to the Bangladesh team's first innings score of 247 runs. Pathum Nissanka was adjudged as the man of the match and man of the series. With this victory, the Sri Lanka team has clinched the trophy 1-0. With this defeat, captain of the Bangladesh team Najmul Hossain Shangto has relinquished his duties as the captain of the team.
A.M. Sumanavira, one of the most excellent cyclists produced by Sri Lanka, has passed away. He had succumbed to a sudden illness while riding a cycle last afternoon. The late cyclist was 77 years old at the time of his demise. He had entered the fray of cycling in 1965 and since then participated in about 1,200 competitions, of which emerged victorious in 700 occasions. He had received championship in many popular cycling events in the island, including the Lanka Savaria. Late Sumanavira had shown special competence in mountain cycling races. He was the father of 5 children and 2 of his daughters are engaged in the cycling field. Remains of the cyclist A.M. Sumanavira are kept at his residence in Dummalavatta in Pahala, Erabad.
The Mahameru Rallycross 2025 motorcar and motorcycle races are scheduled to be conducted at the Mahameru racing track in Giriula tomorrow. The Channel I of the national television will bring a live commentary of the events. The racing events are being organised by the Sri Lanka Motorcar and Motorcyclists Association. The best drivers and riders are scheduled to take part in the events, which is comprised of 22 competitions. All events will be telecast over the national television starting at 8:30 am tomorrow.
Well, that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira, together with Natalia Weeraward, and I wish you a pleasant weekend. Take care.
Good night.